Thanks for tuning in today. I'm John Holmes, owner of Holmes Hobbies, and today we're going to give you some updates on our Pershing house and also on the SCX-10-2. Now, the last day or so, we've been doing some painting in Pershing. As you can see, one of the rooms, just doing some kilts at first. Gonna knock these walls down to white instead of having the paneling, and then probably paint them some colors. But the extra brightness in here is very welcomed. It makes this very small room look a little bit bigger. So looking around the Pershing house, some of the other updates that we've done so far, still certainly working on the place. We have ripped the tub out fully at this point. Just all kinds of rottenness in here. The floor has been redone multiple times, just terrible condition. This backer board that was over on the left-hand side was very rotten as suspected. And somehow this backing board there didn't really get too much water damage. Well, there's a lot down here. Maybe I shouldn't talk before I poke my head in the corners, right? So this is all going to get ripped out in the bathroom and redone. And I believe what we're going to do is end up extending the bathroom into what we're going to call the master bedroom at this point. Let's see if we have lights in here still. Yes. All right. Check outside the window into our backyard. It's going to be a rainy day. I was hoping to get some more video of the SCX-10-2, but that is probably not the case. All right, so what we're doing in here is I cut a little access hole in the floor just to check out the basement, the crawl space, if you will. And it turns out that it is as expected. The central portion of the floor here is suspended on essentially a couple of cinder blocks that are sitting on top of a few paver stones, which are sitting on top of dirt. And as you can imagine, that is not the most solid setup, and it has sagged over time. And we can probably see a little bit of this sagging if we get low enough to the floor. Maybe not. You'll just have to take my word for it. You may be able to see the ceiling a little better. So the ceiling was, yeah, there we go. You can see how bad the ceiling has been sagging. There's no weight that's actually being supported on this central 2x4 that I stuck in. The ceiling has sagged probably about as far as it will. If we look up here, you can see that somebody cut the header. Somebody cut that header. Not the smartest move. And then if we look over here, the header had also been cut clean in half. So what we're going to do is build a temporary wall 2 feet out, basically right in here. We're going to build a temporary wall all the way down the room, and on the other side we will build another temporary wall right down the room. And what we'll end up doing is cutting the floor out 4 feet wide so that we can use a standard sheet of plyboard to fill in the floor. And essentially, what's going to end up happening is, we remove the wall that's in here right now, and we have those two temporary walls on either side, and that will allow us to lift the roof up. So what we will be doing is making a large, essentially a pylon or a footer, if you will, concrete footer that goes down to the frost line, and then we will have a 6x6 post anchored into the concrete footer, and then that will travel all the way up to a header. We're going to make our own header out of two 2x10s and a sheet of OSB, oriented strand board. It's kind of like plywood, but a little stronger, or maybe it's not stronger. I don't know. Doesn't matter. At any rate, we will be making our own header out of that, basically sandwiching the OSB in between the two pieces of plyboard, sandwiching the OSB in between the two 2x10s, and then that will become our header. We will prop up the header from the 6x6 post on that side. We will prop up the other side over here on a 6x6 post, and that will support the roof. Once the roof is jacked up a little bit, then we will be able to do the same for the floor. So we will have a header, if you will, that spans the floor underneath all of the joists, I believe is what they're called. And that will allow us to lift the floor up and make this entire room level. As it sits, there is just a slope going this way. It's about the lowest over there. So that should fix it up. Really not gonna be that much labor. We just have to get the time for it. This weekend, myself and a contractor are gonna come in and get the work knocked out for this area, we'll just call it. Since it's so dark outside, we really don't have enough light to see what's going on in here. Some of our wood for our temporary walls we just have stored in here. Big whoop, I know, so interesting. A little bit more of the wood over here. And the white walls just really do make it look better. So, on to what I worked on while Dallas helped me paint in here. I painted up a B17 Betty body from Axial. This is a very old body. It came originally in the AX10 kit, if I'm not mistaken. I have quite a few of these laying around my house because I have bought every Axial kit that has come out, pretty much all the Axial RTR rigs that have come out. And so I have a lot of stash of parts. Now I trimmed this body just so we could get full articulation without rubbing the body. And what I also did was made an underlayer of silver and a burnt orange color that'll hopefully simulate rust. As the rig gets beaten up over time, we'll see along these lines here, which is where I put the rust color. We'll see that come out. We also have some rust hiding on the corners of the cab up there. Should be fun. I went ahead and blacked out the windows just because I'm not gonna have a scale interior in here most likely. And so I didn't want to detract from the look of the rig. We do have the front windshield open, and that way I can see the lights for programming if need be. And down the road, if I do install an interior and a driver, I can always cut these windows down and make them look like they're rolled down a little bit. Well, that's kind of the plan. But in the meantime, I guess I won't be crawling very much today, depending on how long the rain lasts. And so we're just gonna call that good for the day. If y'all have any questions, give us a shout out in the comments. And if you want to see more videos in the future, subscribe to us and you will get your notifications and see us as soon as we make the new videos. So thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm John Holmes, owner of Holmes Hobbies. Have a good day.